The Elysian Voyager, a marvel of engineering, sliced through the inky blackness of space. It was a sanctuary, a vessel carrying hope and dreams to the far reaches of the galaxy. Among its passengers, nestled safely in the arms of his mother, was baby Mason. His eyes, wide with wonder, drank in the spectacle of a billion stars glittering like diamonds scattered across a velvet cloth.
The vastness of space, both terrifying and exhilarating, seemed to whisper secrets only he could hear.
Mason's tiny hand reached out, instinctively drawn to the cosmos beyond the viewport. His parents, their faces filled with love and ambition, smiled down at him.
They were pioneers, adventurers, seeking a new life on a distant planet, a world teeming with promise and untouched beauty.
The Elysian Voyager, their home among the stars, was a testament to their unwavering spirit and their belief in a brighter future. Life aboard the spaceship was a constant source of fascination for the young Mason. He spent his days exploring its labyrinthine corridors, his laughter echoing through the sterile hallways. The ship, with its humming engines and blinking lights, became his playground, a universe unto itself.
He befriended the ship's crew, their weathered faces etched with stories of distant worlds and daring exploits. They, in turn, doted on him, their gruff exteriors melting away at his infectious laughter.
As Mason grew, so too did his fascination with the cosmos. He devoured books on astrophysics and engineering, his mind alight with the possibilities that lay beyond their metal shell. His parents, recognizing his insatiable curiosity, nurtured his love for the stars.
They filled his days with stories of celestial wonders, of black holes and supernovas, of galaxies spiraling through the infinite expanse.
The peace of the Elysian Voyager was shattered in an instant. A siren wailed, its high-pitched shriek piercing the tranquility of the spaceship. Red lights bathed the corridors in an eerie glow, casting long, menacing shadows. Panic surged through the ship as the crew scrambled to their stations, their faces etched with fear and urgency.
Mason, his heart pounding in his chest, clung to his parents, their familiar warmth his only comfort in the face of unknown terror.
His father, his face grim, ushered them towards the escape pods, his voice a strained whisper above the cacophony of alarms.
The ship lurched violently, throwing them against the bulkhead. Through the viewport, Mason watched in horror as a swarm of sleek black ships materialized from the void. They were like predators, their hulls bristling with weapons, their intent unmistakable. Lasers sliced through the darkness, tearing into the Elysian Voyager's hull. Explosions ripped through the ship, sending shockwaves that tossed them like rag dolls.
The escape pod bay was chaos, a maelstrom of fear and desperation. Families huddled together, their faces pale with terror, their prayers lost in the din.
Mason's father, his face a mask of determination, pushed them towards an empty pod, his eyes filled with a love that transcended even this moment of abject fear. He sealed the hatch behind them, his hand lingering on the cold metal, his final act of love a silent promise of safety.
As the pod jettisoned away from the dying ship, Mason watched in mute horror as the Elysian Voyager, his home, his universe, was consumed by a blinding explosion.
The void, once a source of wonder, now held only the echoes of his screams and the unbearable weight of his loss. The escape pod, a tiny speck of metal adrift in the vast emptiness of space, became Mason's prison, his sanctuary, and his crucible. Days bled into nights, the endless cycle of darkness and artificial light a constant reminder of his isolation. The void, once a source of wonder, now mocked him with its indifference.
He replayed the events that led to his current predicament in his mind, each iteration etching the memory of his parents' demise deeper into his soul. The pain of their loss was a raw, visceral thing that consumed him from the inside out.
It was in the depths of his despair, fueled by a rage that burned hotter than any star, that Mason vowed revenge. He would find those responsible for the destruction of the Elysian Voyager, for the cold-blooded murder of his parents, and he would make them pay.
Years passed, and the stars bore witness to Mason's transformation. He honed his body and mind into weapons, driven by an unquenchable thirst for vengeance. The escape pod, once his prison, became his training ground. He mastered hand-to-hand combat, his movements becoming fluid, deadly.
He devoured every scrap of information he could scavenge from the pod's databanks, teaching himself astrogation engineering and weapons technology. He transformed the escape pod into a vessel of vengeance, upgrading its systems, arming it with scavenged weaponry. He christened it a name whispered in the corridors of space stations and asteroid mines, a harbinger of righteous fury. He became a shadow himself, a phantom haunting the fringes of the galaxy, always watching, always waiting for the moment to strike.